freaking out to break it down. I'm 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 freaking out to break it down.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to, we're live. Which is so funny because we were actually, yesterday I streamed the actual keynote, of which you told me about a quarter of the way through.
NVIDIA Live.
Yeah, the NVIDIA Live one. And you told me about a quarter of the way through. You're like, hey, there was
a dedicated GeForce stream. Yeah.
So, but we still had a lot of people. And honestly, when the robots came out and they were dancing cool. And all that sort of stuff, and
I wish we had one right here. But,
that would be cool. I feel like maybe Jacob didn't basically pull out enough of the red carpet for us here. But the other thing that was also pretty insane is when they were showing the new the fact that you can build one of those entire things in less than 5 minutes, which was actually pretty insane. So I learned a lot. I did. I learned a lot, and I wish we tried to see if we could stream into the other thing. Unfortunately, we're way back here. They were like, Robey, we don't want you anywhere near any other individuals. We're going to push you way back in the back and make sure that you can't talk to anybody else. We'll try and show you. We'll show you some shorts. I got a there's a robot out there wearing a cowboy hat already. So I was that's on my story. So if you want to see more of that stuff, that would be super cool. But how long have you actually been here? And Jasmine, how are people saying audio and stuff is all good? Everybody says?
Yeah, everything.
Okay, good. Hey, every once in a while, technically things come together.
Sometimes it works.
I love it. So you have been here how long? What is preparing?
In Vegas?
Yeah, in Vegas. How long is preparing taken?
For me, I was here not that long. Since, when did I come up here? Sunday.
Okay,
Sunday,
so not that long.
Was that yesterday? I don't know. All these days blend together.
Today is Friday. Today's Tuesday. Okay, today's
Roby,
Tuesday.
Who's sitting next to you?
So you've been here since Sunday.
Yeah. Who's
Why did everybody knows who Jacob is?
People don't know him.
Oh, people don't know who he is? Did they say that?
Yeah, they're asking who he is.
Oh, okay. GeForce Jacob, who are you?
I
guess
know.
he's the more famous one, guys. I'm not even the famous one here. Yeah, so who are you and what do you do for NVIDIA?
Who am I and what do I do?
I've never had to introduce somebody before. That's weird. Okay, go ahead.
Well, I am Jacob. I've been at NVIDIA for about 3 years, but I'm no stranger to NVIDIA because I was actually at EVGA for 17 years. Can you believe it?
I can't believe he started working at EVGA when he was 7 because he's only 25. Yeah,
it's true. It is true. Yeah, so actually in January it'll be 20 years since I first started working with NVIDIA GPUs. But actually I was a huge fan of NVIDIA even before that.
You absolutely were. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm my title is GeForce Evangelist, but it's a lot of different things. So it's obviously like working with you guys, working with press, social media. I post on social media all the time.
You do, and you get to play a lot of games.
I do play a lot of games.
Yeah, but do you get to play games, or you just get to go look at tech and games? Because it literally feels like here's this game with this setting and all that sort of stuff. So you do get to enjoy them.
Yes.
Okay.
But actually, I'm just a huge fan of graphics tech in general, right? Ever since I first saw 3D acceleration in Quake 2 on a Voodoo 2 that I had at the time, I've been like obsessed with 3D graphics. So yeah, I'm a fan. I play a lot of games. I'm a graphics enjoyer. I guess you could.
Enjoyer,
there you go.
a graphics connoisseur, what would a graphics sommelier? I mean, maybe one of those things.
Yep.
So now that you've been here, the first official day was yesterday when everything kicked off.
Yeah.
Obviously, NVIDIA was like the big keynote at the very beginning. You guys had your 9 p.m. GeForce, basically GeForce presentation as well. Since what? My mic cut off? Oh. Is it my mic? I'm sitting on it.
Is Robey's mic still out?
Oh, it's crackling. I'll get it out of the front. The thing is, guys, when we're at CES, there's so much transmission going on. So is that better? Do I sound better? I'm back. Okay, cool. Okay, so anyway, it's in my front pocket now. I'm sorry, I'm not in my own studio.
Need more pockets.
I need more pockets. Apparently, we need to just have it
right there.
Yeah, I know, dude. You should see what he's carrying right now. It's insane. You can't see it because what he has is absolutely nuts to get this to all work together. Okay, so you've now been here since Sunday. Yesterday was the kickoff. You've had 2 presentations. What have you been excited about so far? We'll talk about the stuff that you guys announced, but what have been the things that you've been most excited about as the graphics sommelier?
Well, DLSS 4.5. That's what I'm most excited about.
And we're going to talk about that here with the demo and stuff like that.
There's a lot of cool stuff here. We also announced that path tracing is being added to more games. So path tracing is the most advanced form of ray tracing.
Right.
It's being added to a new game called Pragmata, which is really cool from Capcom. I'm really looking forward to that. And also Resident Evil Requiem.
Dude,
is getting path. I cannot wait for that.
So are you a big what's your favorite genre? If you had to not genre, but your favorite game series, huh?
Oh. Favorite game
series,
franchise?
For me is franchise. Me is Mass Effect. I love Mass Effect.
Honestly, it's probably Battlefield.
Okay.
In terms of franchises that are still active today, I would say. It's either Battlefield or Doom.
Okay. Which Doom, both of those games not bad, right? All in all from there. So, and you actually have finished Doom. You've finished the latest one, yeah?
Dark Ages.
Yeah, Dark Ages, yeah. Dude, that game, if you haven't played it, so cool. Now, the other thing, too.
Also has path tracing.
It does. And it's funny enough, I know that Araxness always wants us to use it as our tech demo instead of Cyberpunk. He's like, okay, Cyberpunk's let's show that. Guys, someday we'll switch games, okay?
Cyberpunk is pretty awesome and still, the game is not brand new, right? It came out some years ago, and it's pretty awesome how CDPR keep adding more and more graphical features to the game. They were one of the first people to add path tracing.
Yep.
They were one of the first people to add ray reconstruction into the game as well. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and all in all, they're such a great way to showcase graphical technology. Now, the other thing that you guys did as well is, even though we got to see some new GPU form factors. Yes, those are real. new GPU form factor.
GPU form factors. Oh, okay. So you're talking about the AIC cards.
Yeah, I'm talking about these new cards that have been like, dude, look at this. This is like, it's kind of like a throwback to the RTX 20, like the 2000 series Founders Edition.
This is from Gigabyte. So this actually has 3 fans in it.
What?
There's another fan in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And it looks a little bit like a Tron light cycle too.
Somebody else mentioned that, and now I cannot unsee it. It does look like a
It
Tron
does.
light
It does.
cycle. It's pretty awesome looking.
May I touch? May I have it? This is the first time I've got to. Wow, that is. I wonder why. I'm just gonna keep it out. I'm just gonna go like no. I'm sorry. I was joking. No, give it back.
Oh.
I didn't get to play with it. Dude, this thing is hefty. Like this thing is really hefty. Just how this thing is crazy. You were going to need an anti-sag bracket for that for sure. So is anything different about this card specifically, or?
Well, that's a great thing to talk to Gigabyte about. I know it has the 3 fans in there. It's an awesome form factor. Looks awesome like the light cycle I mentioned. But there's some others here as well, like this one here.
Yeah. Now I have the previous version of this.
Man.
Now, from what I understand, this has 2 16 pins. And it's up to 1,000 watts, right, of power for this thing. This thing is nuts. So this is from MSI.
Yeah.
This is their Lightning Z, and they have another one too, right?
So this is the Lightning Z. It has obviously a 360 millimeter cooler on it. This is actually an LCD screen. It's pretty awesome. I got to see it light up, and it looks pretty cool.
So I'm just gonna let you know that MSI, I'm gonna be writing you because I need to switch my other one for this one. I feel like that's a fair exchange.
Yeah, the Lightning series actually has been a long-running line of overclocking graphics cards from MSI. So it's awesome to see it come back.
Let's get some close-up of this here, Brian. Right, like especially like so it's got a screen, right? Check that out. And then the other thing too is that also, I mean, like, dude, look at that dual 16 pins. And honestly, like, so I tested the Supreme Liquid, which was, I'll be honest, man, that thing, it was like one of the quietest cards that we did. Like in terms of temps, it was crazy. So really excited to actually get to test this one. I love doing builds around this. The thing that's been really cool is there's been a lot of cases that have started to support like the dual AIO for both the GPU and the whole thing as well. So pretty crazy card. What do you guys think of the looks? What are people thinking about the cards, Jazz? Wow, all caps.
All caps.
All caps. Wow, there it is, guys. Wow, all caps. And there it is right there. And then, yeah, so 1,600 watts is what we're predicting. So a 1,600 watt PSU, which you can get from companies like Be Quiet. I mean, a lot of people make Corsair. A lot of people make 1,600 watt PSUs. And then all of that to run Crysis, right? Like that's the key.
Of course.
That's the key thing there. And then you've got one more to show us as well.
This is the Asus ProArt. So this one's pretty awesome too because it is a 2.5 slot form factor, which means it fits into the SFF ready form factor, which we introduced some time ago.
And this was a big deal on the 4080, right? The ProArt one was the first 4080 one that was like basically could be SFF ready.
There was only a few, and that was one of them.
And honestly, just very, very easy card to cool, very low profile. Obviously with the ProArt series, no RGB. Like they basically, Asus went deep into the black and the gold in terms of the look and stuff like that. I really do like these cards. And then they did a little bit of FE like angled instead of just doing kind of a straight in.
The angled can help in some situations like against smaller chassis, or if the glass is right against the card, it can help in those situations.
Yeah, so what do you guys think of this? What do they think of this one, Jazz?
They asked me to get some white ProArt cards.
So unfortunately, Jacob doesn't have the ability. He has the ability. We're already working on getting a free Mercedes, right? Because I want the Mercedes, the auto drive car, and we're trying to get a robot. So like one of those two things, both of those things.
You got to choose one. You can only have one.
I can only have one?
Yeah.
What? I can't have all of it, right? That's not even fair. Okay, so we got to see some new cards, which is super cool. Has there been anything else that you kind of seen like from the news and stuff like that that's been exciting for you?
Man, I've just been so busy here. I haven't had a chance to really catch up on a lot of the news. But yeah, I mean, there's always awesome stuff coming out of CES, and always look forward to seeing all the new announcements.
Yeah. So what your big thing is like when you get home, you'll like after you've like gotten away from the craziness that is dealing with weirdos like us,
or hearing from people like you, they're like, "Oh my God, did you see this?" I'm like, "Oh, I haven't seen that yet." You know. So yeah, that's sometimes how I learn about the other CES announcements, other than what's happening here.
The one that I'm actually pretty excited about, and it'll be interesting for some of this, is so Asus announced these X-Real, these AR glasses.
Oh, I heard about
that
those,
are 140 or 170 inch screen, 240 hertz OLEDs, right? Like, so that'll be super awesome, right? Like, again, anything that just makes the gaming experience better, right?
Yeah.
And so that'll be cool. But I haven't got a chance to see all that much anyway. So
all right. Well, you can choose. You know, now you have, this is your list of things you can take home is expanding.
Oh, good. So, and I'm pretty sure Justin said that I could have both the Mercedes and also the robot. So that's just for walking in on our live stream, Justin.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys. Okay, so what are we talking about? So what are we demoing here? Let's talk about the announcements you guys did make it at the event last night. What were the highlights, and then what are we going to show today?
Yeah, so there was a lot of things to talk about. So one of the ones I'm most excited about is DLSS 4.5.
Okay.
So last year, we announced DLSS 4. Actually, 1 year ago, we launched DLSS 4, which brought a new transformer model of DLSS, which gave you better image quality, much better than the previous convolutional neural network, which was CNN. So we've been using transformer. It's been excellent. So at this CES, we're announcing DLSS 4.5.
Okay.
And DLSS 4.5 brings a few new features to DLSS. First off is a second generation transformer, which is significantly better image quality, especially if you're using performance or ultra performance DLSS modes.
Okay. So that means like your 4K and potentially 8K graph, like for that's which is where you use performance and ultra performance some of the time.
Traditionally, yes, especially the ultra performance was primarily targeted at 8K resolution.
Right.
However, it's actually pretty good now that you could use it at other resolutions.
Oh, nice.
Well.
Okay.
And for example, here we're showing this is 1440p.
Okay.
With DLSS performance.
Okay.
And you can see, I don't know how close the camera can get.
Hey, we can get that. He's remote. He can get as close as he wants to. He can get it right up in there, right? So
this is using DLSS 4.5. So one of the things you want to look at is like check out these. Well, you blocked it now, Robey.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If you check out these embers right here, so this is 4.5. If we switch back to, that's DLSS 4.
Oh,
that is the first generation transformer.
So yeah, we're looking right here, guys.
So if you can see those, I mean, the embers that are there are basically non-existent with DLSS 4 transformer because it's not able to essentially resolve them. And with DLSS 4.5.
Wow, look at how many more embers there are.
Yeah, so this is a lot more close to the ground truth image. And a lot of people question like, what does ground truth mean? And when we talk about ground truth, we're talking about not the TAA 4K image. We actually rendered the engine at a super high resolution that you can't even really run at a playable frame rate. That is what DLSS is trained on.
Right, okay.
And so that's why it looks so good. In a lot of cases can look better than native or certainly better than like TAA or TSR.
And that was one of the things I remember showing off, especially when we were talking about its transformer model with Cyberpunk a year ago, right? When we really got to see it, and for the first time you were saying, no, this actually looks better than the native performance because it can do things that natively you just can't do, and then run it at a realistic frame rate.
Yeah, so actually you were there at PDX-Line. We did that experiment where we were like, the game was running at the exact same frame rate, and we asked people, which one looked better image quality-wise. Some of that was from ray reconstruction, but a lot of it was from the transformer model, just gives better image quality overall. 85% of the attendees on that, kind of like blind test chose the DLSS image.
Now would have been more, except for I was telling everybody to choose the wrong thing, and then I got kicked out. They were like, please stop, because I was like, no, choose A, just to make him mad. And then like I got beat up. Like this guy's actually really strong. So I mean,
you wouldn't believe it.
You don't mess with the graphics connoisseur or the graphic card sommelier. Yeah. Okay, so what else we got? So we show so we're showing this. What else do we have that we're looking at here? Because I see Frame Gen 6. So now it's more. What's that about?
Oh, the other thing I'll mention about the new transformer model really quickly is that it works across all RTX cards.
Okay.
Yeah, RTX 50. So it is 5 times more compute data. So it is a heavier model, but on RTX 50 cards, it's around 2 to 3% performance impact, but the visual increase is pretty huge.
Right.
That is certainly worth the trade-off in most cases. On like 20 series and 30 series, the performance may be a little bit more, but you can play around with the different DLSS presets to try to get the best balance, performance to image quality balance.
Nice, nice. Now, one thing that was interesting is that there was a class of individuals who didn't have the DLSS app before your guys' announcement, right? Like now Linux users have like a native app, right?
So that's for GeForce Now.
Okay,
So
for
yeah,
okay.
Linux, yeah. Which
So
we
there
can
you
talk
go.
about
Linux, there you go. Little surprise there, nice little gift for you, you Linux users, because I know there's a lot of people moving over to Linux and stuff like that as well.
Yep.
Okay, so tell me about FrameGen 6. Why 6? Like, where'd that kind of come from?
Yeah, so previously we had 4x, on 50 series went up to 4x multi-frame gen. So for DLSS 4.5, we're also introducing 6x multi-frame gen. So it's pretty simple. For every rendered frame, you're generating 5 frames with DLSS, so better performance. This is an example here. This is 4x versus 6x. And you can see, these monitors are 360 hertz displays. So
oh, wow, yeah.
So
So we're actually getting close to, like, we actually can play this insanely, like, Black Myth Wukong at 299 frames per second right now at 1440p, which is pretty crazy.
Yep, yeah. And so, there's also some other improvements to the FrameGen model, which, by the way, the FrameGen, so the transformer stuff is actually available now.
Okay.
In the latest driver update.
Yep.
You can try out the new transformer. It works in over 400 games by using the DLSS override today.
Okay.
The FrameGen updates are coming in the spring.
Okay.
So that'll be the 6x multi-frame gen, so you can go up to 6x multi-frame gen. And the other feature is called dynamic multi-frame gen.
Okay, so that?
Dynamic multi-frame gen.
Like how I did the leading question there, guys?
Yeah, it sounded really authentic.
Did it? I think he's calling me out.
Dynamic multi-frame gen can automatically adjust the frame gen to meet a target frame rate.
Oh, wow, okay.
So in this case, we are running at 360 hertz. This monitor is 360 hertz. So it's maximized, it set my frame gen to 6x. But, I don't know, maybe you can come in here again. But we can make a change
commanding
here.
you. Like you just look at how he does this.
All right, so we could also, if we lower down the graphics settings a little bit, we'll notice that the frame gen actually went to 3x.
Okay.
Yeah, and the reason for that is because what it's trying to do, let me kind of jump back up there, but basically what it's trying to do is trying to stay within my refresh rate. So if I find a scene that's, goes over 360 hertz, it'll drop
the
frame gen model. Yeah, it'll drop it to 5x, 4x. Yeah.
And so, is there a way? Is it something up to developers to say like, I can set 100 or whatever it was?
So that's a great question, Robey. Do you see how
I didn't actually thought like that's the first question. Being a game developer, I'd be like, okay, is this something is this something that I have to
so
do?
it's actually set by the user. So
Okay.
or the gamer or whatever in the NVIDIA app. So you have 2 options currently. You can set based on your refresh rate of your display, or you can set a target frame rate.
Okay.
So like if you set 100, so if you set it in the control panel that you only want 150 FPS, then the frame gen probably will stay at a lower multiplier unless you get into like a really intense scene, then it'll jump back up.
Okay.
And actually, it can go all the way to off.
Wow, that's actually
it can
cool.
turn frame gen off.
Can it switch to DLAA, right? You know what I mean? Like, so like, I'm just curious, like, it's really just controlling frame gen at this point.
Yeah, it's just frame gen for now, yeah.
Can I put that as a request in there? Like,
Yes,
can I
it's already noted. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. It's not even. Okay, so Jasmine, do we have any questions from I know probably more than likely we've gone through a lot of stuff. Has anybody asked anything?
No questions really yet. Rax was saying he used it to go from 60 to 120 FPS today. Being felt like 60, but my eyes saw 120.
Okay.
But yeah, it said heavy and chonky cards.
Heavy and chonky cards. That is true. They are heavy. There are, but then again, like there were some other ones like PNY and some other people actually announced new form factors. So they're not all these big. But of course, we want to show the big chunky, hefty ones, right? Like those are the ones that we always get excited.
That's the great thing about having so many partners is that there's a wide variety of graphics. Like this one here can fit into small form factor cases. So yeah, there's a lot of great options.
Okay, so we've talked about multi-frame gen. We talked about 6x frame gen. We talked about dynamic frame generation. What else did you guys talk about with
There also is one other feature that's coming to FrameGen in spring as well, and that's more image quality improvements, specifically around UI. So sometimes in some games you may notice, especially with like the crosshairs, when you turn on FrameGen, sometimes you may see some blurring and ghosting around it. And with the new FrameGen model that's coming in spring, we've improved that pretty significantly as well.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. When you guys develop, like when you go from DLSS 4 to DLSS 4.5, like how does that suite of features get determined? Do you go on the road with the microphone and some Krispy Kremes and be like, tell me about the things that you wish you had, or like how do you guys?
Well, I think for DLSS certainly it's getting as close to the, like I mentioned before, the ground truth image as possible. And also maximizing performance. So the closer that we're able to get to that is always going to be our goal. But at the same time, the other parts of DLSS is just listening to feedback. And using feedback.
And where do you? Because I mean, one of the things is your job is you'll stream here. Like we're live on the NVIDIA channel, and we're live on other channels as well. But you spend a lot of time in social media and stuff. So like, how do people get their feedback in if they have?
Well, one way, through the NVIDIA app, there actually is a suggestion section you can submit. That's one way. I mean, certainly, all the other places, Twitter, Reddit,
wow,
all of them, So I mean, we watch really all the feedback. Everywhere pretty much. So.
And then when you think when we were looking at stuff at like DLSS 4 last year at CES, was DLSS 4.5 stuff already in progress?
Oh yeah.
Oh dude, see, this is the thing. So in other words, and then whatever is DLSS next, that's already.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing about DLSS, and really you can apply it to any kind of AI training model. Is that it's always learning and it's always getting better, and the models are always improving. So yeah, it's going to continue to evolve and get better.
So it's the opposite of me, where I just continue to get worse. It gets better, right? Where I'm constantly devolving and becoming more like a kindergartner. It's evolving and becoming way more.
I don't know. I think you're continue to get better. Also. It's like fine wine.
Aged fine wine. Yeah, fine fine Martinellis. That's what I'm like from there. Okay, so what else do we have to show here? Because there's some other things that you wanted to show off as well.
Yeah, so the other thing that we announced, which is pretty awesome, is G-Sync Pulsar.
Okay, now I've seen this before, right? But now, for folks who don't know, this is actually really cool, especially for people who are esports players and stuff like that. So explain what Pulsar is and where it kind of originated from.
Yeah, so actually we announced G-Sync Pulsar kind of like as an upcoming technology preview about 2 years ago.
Yep, I remember.
And it was, it took us that long to get it right, to get the backlight strobing, to have the best, clearest image quality, best brightness. It took us a long time. And finally, we figured it out. And so what G-Sync Pulsar does is it basically can take your 360 hertz display, like this one here, and give you the motion clarity of an equivalent of 1,000 hertz.
Wow.
Through advanced backlight strobing. And that's G-Sync Pulsar.
Okay, and what are the applications where this is super useful? Because I mean, that's the thing, is like, I remember one of the things is just, it's being able to see things in fast motion, all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Anytime you have fast motion on the screen, especially competitive shooters, but actually, let me load up another example we have here. Hopefully, and so the one.
By the way, both Falcon Northwest systems, and we just a quick shout out. Make sure you link your Stream Elements account to your Twitch account, because if you're watching this right now, you are currently earning points to win that Falcon Northwest system using an RTX 5080, and the Corsair giveaway as well. That's ending in February 23rd, and then we have the details and stuff. I know Blondie and everybody's linking that, but if you want to get in on that while we're loading the demo, make sure you do that. Okay, so
Have you played this?
I just saw the demo. Like, this showed up on my Steam recommended.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Or no, maybe not. Okay, but yeah, no, I've heard of this. So tell me about the game.
Well, it is like a strategy type of game, top-down game, where a lot of people wouldn't realize this is the kind of game where you can see the benefits of G-Sync Pulsar pretty clearly, and I'll show you in a second.
Huh? What is the game name? It is
Anno.
Anno. It's Anno Pax Roma, right?
Yes.
Yes. I have heard of this game, and it is a strategy one, but it's not a 4X game like Civ, right? Or is it like a 4X game like Civ?
I'm not 100%
Okay.
sure. I haven't played it. I've just been,
He's just been demoing it.
I've been demoing it.
It's like how I play Cyberpunk.
I've been looking at it. It looks really interesting. Yeah, I should definitely check it out. But I know I know a lot of people are really into the game for sure.
Okay.
So.
Oh wow.
So I don't know how much that picks up on camera here, but.
Wow, this is with it on.
So this, yeah, you got it right.
Oh, dude, immediately you can tell.
So this is Pulsar off. This is Pulsar on, right? And so you would think about any type of either strategy, RTS game, world building game. When you're scrolling around the environment, I mean the image clarity is, the whole screen is refreshing. So looking at text, the image clarity is significantly better.
That almost hurts my eyes now that I've seen this. I don't know if it's coming across, but so for those who don't know, I worked on the Age of Empires series. So I worked on Age of Empires. I was one of the people who did the remakes, and then I worked on Rise of Nations, Rise of Legends. So I actually have a lot of time with RTS games, right? And the other thing too is one of the things, especially with APM and all that sort of stuff, is being able to quickly scroll around the map and then see things instantly with fights, whatever it was. Yeah. This is crazy. It's almost like there's no stutter. That's the part that's super interesting. It's
the one thing that you'll notice, if you look at the arrows, for example.
Yeah, that's where I see it the most, right?
You'll see there's a lot of blur.
Yeah.
With Pulsar. So these are actually the same monitors. It's just Pulsar on versus off. You can turn it on or off.
But the thing that's so crazy, it literally feels like it's actually doing like it's supposed to do, where the map is static and you're moving around it. Where this one, it always still felt like there was drawing, but this almost feels like there's no drawing, which is pretty crazy. So I'm curious, Jasmine, can people notice the difference?
Not super well on camera, people said. So
Yeah.
They can't notice it on camera, where somewhere they can go to see demo or search them out.
So you can buy a monitor and test it. You're just kidding. I don't know if there's. I don't know.
We do have some. We have some videos on our website which shows the difference probably easier there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
But just all you got to do is imagine. It looks a lot clearer.
It's weird, guys. It's actually really weird how much clearer it actually looks. And so this is one of the other things that's really rough, is we're literally taking an image, compressing it, putting it up on the internet, then streaming it to some other source, and then this is the stuff that kind of happens, unfortunately. And so we try to do our best, especially with things like image. I mean, the cool thing is you guys could see the difference. They could see the difference on the transformer model stuff, though, right? Or you could see the embers and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So how does somebody go about getting Pulsar? Is it?
Yeah, actually, it's going to be available starting on January 7th.
Wow.
Is that tomorrow? I think so.
It is. It's tomorrow.
Yeah.
So if you want to, what you can do is, if I can have at least one of every 100 of you go and buy a monitor, and then invite 100 people around you so they can go see it for themselves. And if you could volunteer and let Jasmine know, we'll coordinate watch parties at your houses to go see Pulsar and all that sort of stuff.
So starting tomorrow from a variety of different partners, starting at $599. I think the AOC is $599.
Okay.
Some of the other ones are $649.
Obviously,
so
Asus
these are the
is
Asus
here.
ones.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's pretty cool. And then the other two is honestly, the other one that makes a big difference is, and I remember the original one I saw was CS:GO, and you were watching the guys.
Yeah, we have another demo that's Overwatch.
Yeah.
I think is it Overwatch? Yeah, it's Overwatch 2. And basically, when you see the character moving across the screen, specifically the text or their name, is so much clearer with G-Sync Pulsar.
Yeah. So we saw Pulsar, we saw all the stuff with DLSS 4.5. Anything else?
There's actually one other feature on G-Sync Pulsar, and that is a feature called Ambient Adaptive.
Ooh, I saw you practicing this one. I saw you practicing this one. We have a light for this, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it would work best demonstrating it here, but I'll explain it. There's a light sensor on the back of the monitor that basically can detect the ambient light around in your environment and can adjust the monitor brightness. So like on your phone or your tablet, that
Yeah, which we see all the time, right?
Yeah, so we have that on G-Sync Pulsars as well.
And so, in other words, it will help with things like eye strain and stuff like that.
Eye strain, yeah. So like if you're in a dark environment, it'll darken the screen a little bit. If you're in a bright environment, it'll brighten the screen. Yeah.
So is there a way to, like, because I know sometimes, like I remember with my phone specifically, sometimes it gets too dark, and I'm like, dude, I cannot see.
You can turn it off.
Yeah, or is there a way to adjust how low it goes?
No, I mean, you can obviously adjust the monitor brightness, of
right.
course, like every monitor. You can turn on and off, but that's kind of the extent of it. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I mean, so you guys, what's next for you at CES? Like, what are you? Is this pretty much just you hanging out here and demoing to?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty much. I was going to spend the whole day with you, I thought.
Oh, dude, I was hoping.
Tomorrow.
I was hoping so. What is how many people actually come through?
Oh man, a lot. I don't know.
And who's your favorite person who comes through?
Oh, it's
Brian.
It's Robeytech. It's Justin. Yeah.
It's Justin. Okay, well, guys,
we have a couple questions.
Right? Huh?
We have a couple questions. I can
Oh,
give
so we
you.
got questions.
Yeah. So, two
By the
full
way, number one,
9,000.
Jacob is not single. He is married, so let's get that off the table. Oh, never mind. We have no more questions. Just kidding.
Said for dynamic frame gen for games, do we just leave frame gen on auto because in-game settings do not have beyond ×4 at the moment?
So say that one more time.
For our dynamic frame gen games, do we just leave frame gen on auto because in-game settings do not have beyond ×4 at the moment?
So I think the question is more
for dynamic frame gen.
Yeah.
If like for a game that may not have 6 or whatever it was, do we just put it on auto and then it'll work, or is it something where it, in other words, how do we get it to actually?
So when it comes out, so it's not out.
It's
today.
not out yet.
It'll be out in spring, and initially the way that you'll enable it is through the NVIDIA app.
Right.
And so in the NVIDIA app, you can set, kind of like you can today, you can set a 6x, and it's just always 6x if you want. Or you can enable dynamic multi-frame gen in NVIDIA app, which will basically override whatever settings in the game to the dynamic setting.
And that's the point he was saying, is that's why when in spring, that'll be supported by over 400 games, because that the app will, if it works with that game, then the override.
Yeah, basically any game that you can override, which is like 400 games, you can apply dynamic multi-frame gen to when it comes out.
Is Minesweeper, can you use it in Minesweeper?
I don't know. We're working on it still.
I want that Windows 3.11 Minesweeper game.
How many frames do you need in Minesweeper?
I need all the frames. It's the one game I know I can hit my frame cap on. What's the next question, Jazz?
Can you ask about low profile cards for NAS and Homeland builds requiring AI and encode decode acceleration?
Okay, so low profile, so when they say low profile, do they have a specific model that they were talking about or anything like that?
It says for NAS and home lab builds requiring AI and encode decode acceleration.
Okay. So were there any new low profile cards that you can think of?
I don't recall seeing any, but I know that there's a variety of different form factors from the various partners, like the ones we showcased today. Obviously none of these are low profile.
Yeah, none of those. I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't use the giant Aorus one. I mean, that'll fit in any, I put that in my Dan A4 next week. So, okay, so we don't have an answer to that one. What else we know, Jasmine?
Then someone says, so dynamic isn't out yet, but ×6 is.
No, so basically any of the frame gen stuff that we talked about today will be out in spring. What is available today is the 2nd generation transformer model.
So, which again, that means improved quality, all that sort of stuff. That's image quality. So, in other words, getting closer to that North Star.
If you want to try it out, what you need to do is download the latest driver that just became available. It was like last night.
Okay.
So that's the driver that you want to get, and then you use the NVIDIA app to override the DLSS model to preset L or M. Those are the new transformer, 2nd gen transformer.
And by the way, guys, if you want to know if the game that you're using is supported in the NVIDIA, if you want to know if the game is actually supported in the NVIDIA app, if you can override it, that means it's supported. And there's over 400 games. You can go check that out in games like Black Myth Wukong. I'm sure you could probably do it in Cyberpunk.
Pretty much all of the, any title you can think of pretty much can be overwritten for the most part.
Yeah. Any other questions that we got from chat, Jazz?
Is there a reason you don't want to use frame gen 6 all day, every day? What is
that's a good
detrimental
question.
about it?
Yeah, that's a good question. So there's a couple of reasons. Number one is it doesn't really give you that much benefit to generate frames over your monitor's refresh rate.
Right.
So like if you're at 120 FPS, if your monitor is 120 hertz, I mean, it doesn't really benefit you that much to generate 300 frames on 120 hertz, you know?
Right.
So, so to have the best experience, you want to basically hit your monitor's refresh rate. So, and also, you know, maximizing the image quality as well.
Because there's always, like, depending on where you go, but I mean, depending on what setting you choose, whether that's performance, ultra performance, though it's getting better and better across the board, obviously quality is still going to have some higher set than ultra performance, et cetera, right? But the thing is your guys' goal, I mean, really what NVIDIA's goal is to give you as close to North Star and as many frames as absolutely possible while not sacrificing quality.
And it's also just a quality of life thing. You know, some games, you know, that are very graphically intensive, you need, you know, 4x, 6x, 5x, 6x multi-frame gen.
Right.
Other games, maybe, you know, they aren't, you know, they can already generate 300, they already have 300 frames
You're
per
not
second.
needing this in CSGO or Valorant
exactly.
or anything like that. But where, you know, like if, you know, in Cyberpunk, where you're going to go mod the crud out of it or whatever, right? You know what I mean? Like there might be chances where, you know, you'd love to get 240 frames on a game that just looks super hyper realistic.
Yeah. And the other benefit there is, you know, let's say for example, you're fine with 150 frames per second, right?
Yeah.
And by setting dynamic multi-frame gen, it'll basically keep you at 150 frames per second while maintaining the best image quality.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, which actually, that's the part that
And
actually
lowest
excites me
input
the most, right? Because again, it's like if I don't need it, right? Like if I'm in small corridor or dark area or whatever it was, it may go all the way off, right? And then when I do need it, it's there. And for the most part, I like that it's like you just have this thing that's telling me, it's like, oh, I'm going to keep your frame rate where you need it to be, and then I'll just adjust it as it is.
But I know for you want 1,000 frames per second.
I do.
So
I
really
really do.
Just set 6x.
You know what's going to happen is I'm literally just going to go back and put like 2 million frames per second. And it's like, wow, I've got a new, it just says Robeytech. In the frame gen, it says
For your Minesweeper.
frame gen over Robey, it just says RT. And then it just makes up frames. That's what it is.
For Minesweeper.
Yeah, for Minesweeper. Anything else we got, Jazz?
Not a lot of other questions. People are just saying an air-cooled version of the MSI Lightning would be cool to have at some point.
Oh yeah, dude, we showed a new graphics card. Of course, you know they're PC DIY folks. They want to hear all that sort of stuff. And again, we'll obviously we're with the gaming, with the new game streams that you guys have seen. If there's stuff, we're playing through Indiana Jones right now, so that's the thing that we've been doing. So we'll definitely
the expansion or the main.
The main one, right? So we will play through the expansion. I made promises.
The expansion, I finished that game. It's really good. I enjoyed that game so much. The expansion, I enjoyed it as well. The expansion is pretty challenging, honestly.
I mean, to be honest, like I've been really digging. Like, so we now do what two game streams a week, right? And it's been really cool having like hundreds of people watch how terrible I am at games. So I really
Indiana Jones actually is one that could benefit quite a bit from 6X, especially since it has path tracing. It has a lot of tech in there. It's a new id tech.
I'm running Supreme with basically with Ultra, right, and then Supreme with at performance, right, and we're running at 4K
with path tracing.
With path tracing, yeah.
What kind of frame rate is that?
It's I think we're at 88. So I have not. So I'll turn on. So that'll be a great one. We'll put on.
That'll be a good one to show.
Yeah. So you guys will get to see it, and go from there. Anything else? What are we? Okay, dude, it's 1:30.
Araxinus asked, can you explain the optimal use of frame gen as in when having 60 plus FPS already? Because he said many feel frame gen is used to get 60, not improved when over 60.
Oh yeah, so he's just saying, so the one thing that, and we've talked about this, and this is from a tech side, is again, one of the things that frame gen does do is like, even though it gives you more frames, if your base frame rate is sub 60, right? Like it's like 12 or whatever it was, you could see it could feel floaty, right? Like it doesn't.
Yeah,
like
in some cases. There's a lot of variables there. You know, it depends by the person. It depends by the game. It even depends by the input that you're using. But generally, I would say 40 to 60 is
where you want your base.
For me personally, I think is pretty good. And then once that, if you add frame gen on it, you're just going to get much better motion smoothing.
It's funny enough, the other thing that we ended up learning that was super interesting is some people are actually adding up to 100 milliseconds of delay just by not selecting the right monitor preset, right? So if you choose cinematic, you can add up to 100 milliseconds of delay just in how much it's
Yeah, I know like a lot of televisions have like they have a lot of features in order to enhance the image quality, which actually negatively affects the input latency.
Yeah,
which
so
is why they have like gamer mode on the TV.
And so again, we've always done the rule of thumb: the closer you can be to 60, it's just the better the experience has always been. But again, this is one of those things that NVIDIA is constantly moving the bar as well, right? So as new tech comes out and they can get close to that North Star, there might be a place where that actually moves. So again, it's one of those things. It's a personal preference. Always something worth trying. The good thing is that you can go try it. It's not going to crash your system.
Yeah, and that's the great thing is about PCs in general is you have a lot of options. If you want to use FrameGen, you don't want to use FrameGen, you want to use 2x, 3x, 4x,
Yep.
5x, 6x.
Yep. I didn't even know I had all those options until today,
Yeah.
right? And so now I can do up to 6x and check that stuff out. And so we'll definitely show some of that stuff when we do our Indiana Jones playthroughs and stuff like that. Anything else that we got, Jazz? That was still a good questions. And honestly, this is one of the things I really enjoy about getting to do this with live people, right? Because then again, I don't know all the questions I get asked, though.
I
did say I get asked some good ones.
I'm not AI generated.
You're not AI generated.
So like
this is not the Jacob
actually not for it was kind of funny, not for this GeForce On, but for some reason, this is a second GeForce On. GeForce On is like the GeForce announcements.
Right.
And a lot of people thought I was AI generated on that one. It was at Gamescom.
It's just
I don't know why though.
Look at how perfect
And
he
I'm
is.
just here to tell you that I'm 100% not AI generated.
I like it.
Yeah,
you can't touch AI yet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just the thing is, it's the perfect skin and stuff like that. He's too perfect. That's what it is.
I don't know what it is. But
Okay, guys. Well, we are gonna leave it here. We went right at an hour, dude, which is actually pretty crazy. We are still playing with our tech. Our hope is, for those who are watching, is that we'll be live again at Gigabyte. It'll be a little bit more raw. We'll just be walking around with our unit, just showing everything that we can off. Luckily, you got to see the Aorus Light Cycle giant 5090 thing, dude. That thing is so heavy. And then all in all, it's also good for bicep curls, stuff like that as well, so you can take it out. But really cool. We're going to be showing some of that stuff off. That should be around 4-ish today, if everything works well. And then if we know that works, then we'll add some additional streams. But again, huge shout out to NVIDIA for allowing us to be here so early. We were one of the first ones to, and allowing us to also stream to you folks over at NVIDIA as well. So we're live on both twitch.tv/NVIDIA and over twitch.tv/Robeytech. Anyway, guys, that is it for now. And we will see you guys here very soon with more coverage live at CES.
Bye-bye.